What's up, my Trojan family? How's everybody doing? How's everybody? I hope everybody's having a good week. Look, man, I got a breaking story that needs to be told. It's a breaking story. It's only been up for like 9 hours, and I got to talk about it. I got to talk about it before they end up taking it down because, of course, you know, it's an SEC team that's involved in the SEC conference, basically. Well, two teams from the conference that's involved. But I got to talk about this, man. I mean, it's so important. I was going to hold this out and wait for Saturday to upload this, but I got to do it today, which is Thursday, because this is I got a T-bone steak downstairs, a couple of T-bone steaks downstairs. I can't even fool with them right now because this has got to come out right now. But before I talk about that story, and you've seen the title, the SEC player confesses to getting $50,000. But let's talk about these couple news and note items before I get into that. First, we got Mario Williams. There's nothing major, but we got Mario Williams. He signed with Jay-Z's Roc Nation to have somebody represent him to find. He hasn't got the NIL deal yet, but he signed with Jay-Z's Roc Nation to help him pursue and find the best NIL deal. Before you know it, the whole USC team gonna have NIL deals. I mean, it's unbelievable, man, what they're doing right now. But that's Mario Williams, the transfer receiver from Oklahoma, signed with Roc Nation, Jay-Z's Roc Nation Sports Group, to represent him and finding an NIL deal. So that's one news note item. But here's the other one. It's kind of comical. It's funny, but it's Darwin Barlow, the running back, the TCU transfer that came last year. He played under Graham Harrell last year, and he made some incredible. I don't know if you guys seen this. He made some incredible comments during the press conference after practice a couple days ago. And man, let me tell you something, man. This was absolutely comical, what he said. But this is telling. This is so telling to what Graham Harrell brought to the table. And I don't know about you guys, but man, when I used to watch the games with Graham Harrell, I mean, do you guys remember some of the plays last year? We would be on first down, and you're going to pass the ball, bro. Like, why are you passing the ball? I used to want to jump through my TV last year. Why are you passing the ball on first down? Never in Ingram. The thing about it, Ingram, like sometimes he'll have 10 yards a pop. You know, why weren't you running the ball? Why were you putting the hands in Slovis or Dart and running the ball? But this is telling right here, man. This right here is absolutely telling what Darwin Barlow said about Graham Harrell's offense. So the question was asked to him about how sophisticated is the offense that they're in now, opposed to the offense from last year, right? And so what he says we have to really know our assignments last year. You know, we have to really be on point. We can't just. He said not only that, he said they're checking on us in our classroom. And let me say this too. I'm gonna say this too. This is nothing to Dante Williams, because this had absolutely nothing to do. He just took over this coaching job as an interim basis. Graham Harrell was still the offensive coordinator, so I don't charge it to Dante Williams. And I just want you guys, I want that to be known, because this is not charging him at all. But Graham Harrell offense was so simple, Simon. It was so simple, Simon. You never seen anything, any type of halftime adjustments. You never seen any major moves to adapt to the defense. It was like, dude, what? I never could understand. He came over from North Texas, right? And he had success in North Texas, but that's North Texas. This is USC. All these little Mickey Mouse plays that he was trying to run, man, it just wasn't working. And you would think that Clay Helton would have been able to see that. But let me tell you what Darwin Barlow said. Darwin Barlow said this. He said, this is his exact words. I wrote them down in his exact words. I don't want you to think this was just me saying this. But listen, he said, it's so many more plays that we are lucky to have. So it wasn't even that many plays in Graham Harrell's system, man. It wasn't even that many plays. He says it's so many more plays that we're lucky to have. Like, you just dying to have all this big playbook now, right? Which we know that Lincoln Riley is an innovative guy. He's an offensive mind, so he's going to lay out the playbook, man. They probably got like 300-400 plays now, opposed to 5 plays. And so he says before, if you didn't know a play, you could just run a swing in Graham Harrell offense, a swing route. Those of you don't know, I play running back, so I know. A swing is you just out of the backfield if you're not gonna take a toss sweep or a lead or whatever, you're gonna take a swing pass, and you're just gonna run a swing, and the quarterback will just throw it to you. He said, if you don't know the play, you can just run a swing. So all of his plays, in other words, he's basically saying all his plays are so simple. All his plays are so simple-minded and so simple. So all you had to do was just swing out there, and everybody, look. If he knows that's all you had to do, don't you think the defense knows that as well? Don't you think the defensive coordinator that watched the opposing team that they were studying for you guys, don't you think that they would know that as well? That's how simple. That just gave you an insight, a small insight on how simple the offense was last year. And we probably could have had so much more productivity if we would have just had somebody that was just a little more creative. I don't understand what anybody ever saw in Graham Harrell. I'm sorry. I mean, you guys might have liked him, but and I'm not bashing him because he's a human being, but the offensive play calling sucked. That's where I'm at with it. All right, so Mario Williams got the NIL representation from Rock Nation, Jay-Z's Rock Nation, and then we got Darwin Barlow's incredible comments. But here it is right here. Here it is right here. And this story right here has me absolutely furious right now. And the reason it's having me furious is because all Reggie Bush was asking for was his Heisman back. In fact, the Heisman Trophy, group was willing to give his trophy back. But guess what? The Heisman Trophy Trust, rather, they were willing to give his trophy back. But you know what? The NCAA and the hypocrisy, the hypocritical self, refused to give him back. And I'm going to tell you why they refused to give him back. Because they're tied in with the good old boy system in the South. Now, I want to see what they do with this. I had to do this article because this article's only been up for 9 hours. And I want to go ahead on and get this out the way before they take it down. Because this article is coming from Saturday Down South. This is actually an SEC site. This is actually an SEC, they pretty much put everything SEC out there. But I had to talk about this. And if anybody knows this, Fred Taylor, I love Fred Taylor, actually. He played running back. I told you I played back in the day. And I used to love his style, his vision. Fred Taylor, a long time Jacksonville Jaguar, got Hall of Fame type numbers, man. And he played at the University of Florida. Fred Taylor, and he's a great guy. He has a podcast that I watch sometime with Ryan Clark that's on ESPN, and other brother slipped my name right now. But they got a podcast that's on YouTube. You can go. I think it's called Pivot. But anyway, Fred Taylor, the one and only Fred Taylor, he tells his story about how Georgia, who just won the national championship, gave him $50,000. You heard it right. Georgia gave him $50,000. Now, I told you that all we asked for, we didn't want to cause no problems. We didn't want no action with nobody. All we wanted to do is get our Heisman Trophy for Reggie Bush back because we wanted to represent the USC Trojans right. But the NCAA denied it in 2021. They denied it because they end with the good old boy system. Now, I want to see what that same good old boy system is going to do with this Fred Taylor story that's been up for about 9 hours. And I promise you, they're going to probably take this thing down. I can't even believe he confessed this. And I'm going to read this article to you. I want to see what the same NCAA does with this because, it's hypocrisy on the biggest level. And I told you guys in my past videos, I said, they've been doing this stuff for years. Reggie did not cheat on the field, man. He did not cheat on the field. Reggie, the money was taken, but that wasn't cheating. You know what I call cheating? I'll call cheating taking performance-enhancing drugs. That's what I'll call cheating. If you take performance-enhancing drugs that's going to cause you to perform different, that's going to give you that edge, then in my opinion, you're cheating. But the fact that he took money, and now that the fact, and you remember last year in 2021, Reggie applied to get his Heisman back when the NIL deals came open, right? When all this NIL stuff came. He said, okay, now that they're allowed to sign, maybe the NCAA will give me my money back. And the Heisman Trust said, yeah, we agree with that. We definitely agree with that. We'll give it to you. We have to just clear it with the NCAA. But the NCAA gonna turn around and reject it, man. and reject it. So now I want to see, you got two schools here that are involved. You got Florida and you got Georgia. Georgia was recruiting Fred Taylor, and they gave him $50,000. $50,000. But he ended up keeping the money and ended up going to Florida anyway, where he had crazy numbers there. So let me read it to you. Here's the article. Fred Taylor tells a story about taking $50,000 from Georgia and going to Florida anyway. Now, let me say this before I read a little bit of this article. Yeah, I mean, it's been times in the past where they found situations and things that happened with players, right? And they went back. And retract and still penalized the school. Now, this is a major infraction because Georgia, I want to see if they take, Florida took the player in that got the money. So that's a violation on that end, right? Not from Florida, but you got a player that went against NCAA rules. So they're in violation, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because I've seen it done like that. And then Georgia, on the other hand, is in violation for giving him the money. So listen. So it says this. It says Fred Taylor is a Florida legend, helping the Gators win the national championship in 1996. I wonder if they're going to take their national championship away. And I'm not a hater of Florida. I'm not a hater of Fred Taylor. Like I said, I love Fred Taylor. He is my guy, man. His style was a style above, I love him. He had great vision. But let me read this. It says, but he might be even more of a Florida legend for what he did to Georgia. So they just making fun of it now, right? They're just making fun of it as if it's just some casual type thing. He might be even more of a legend for taking the money, but then going to another school. And it says, according to the story he told on the Bushin' with the Boys podcast with Taylor Lowen and Will Compton this week, as you can see below, Taylor details how Georgia gave him almost $50,000 to commit to the Bulldogs, but Taylor obviously went to Florida anyway. And then they got it here. And then, okay, here it is right here. And it says, when asked about the bag Georgia dropped, Taylor had a hilarious, it wasn't a duffel response. Clearly, the Gators are glad he chose them, even when the money Georgia was paying him, even with the money that Georgia was paying him. He's a member of Florida's Athletic Hall of Fame. So I wonder if they're going to take all this Hall of Fame stuff away. I wonder if they're going to take all this money away. I mean, not money, but I wonder if they're going to take all of the national championships away. Is anybody going to talk about this, Mr. Paul Finebaum on the SEC network? Are you going to talk about this? Are you going to say that Georgia was cheating? Are you going to say that Florida was cheating? And I really don't charge it to Florida that much, but I'm sure they gave him money too, but I don't have no proof. I only talk about stuff that I got proof of. But I wonder if they're going to do the same way that they do with USC, man. I need you guys to, I forgot, man, like, share, subscribe. Go follow me on USCJ32 at Instagram. USC, I'm so furious, I can't even think of all this, man. I wanted to get into this article before they take it down. But follow me at USCJ32 at Instagram. USCJ32 at Instagram. Go follow me on there. That's a good way to, if you don't message me on YouTube, that's a good way to message me and I can get right back with you. And then I need you guys to like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. We need to talk about this, man. I need to know you guys' opinion. I need to know what you guys think, because this is absolute, they did us so bad. They did us so dirty. And we got to live with this. We had to live with this. And if it wasn't for Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams, all this stuff, man, they tried to pull an SMU on us. They tried to kill us. They tried to kill the program. So now I don't want to see anybody just done bad, but I just want you to, the same way you guys tried to do us, see, that's just let you know that you guys had an interior, you guys had another motive with USC. You guys know that USC was on top, and you guys wanted to knock us down and put an SMU on us. But now we coming up. But do everybody else the way you did us. That's what I'm saying. This man, a Hall of Fame player, millions of dollars, got a major podcast on YouTube with Ryan Clark on ESPN. He's not telling no lie. You know what I mean? So I wonder what you guys gonna say about this now. Are you gonna take Georgia's national championship away? I mean, I just want to know. So look, man, like, share, subscribe. I had to get this out. Like I told you, I got 2 T-bone steaks down there waiting on me, man. But I couldn't even fool with them right now. I had to come talk about this because I have a feeling they're gonna take this story down. Listen, man, inbox me, USCJ32, follow me on there, and then like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think, man. And by the way, Lincoln Riley, he's very confident and I think even surprised about how his offensive line is performing. Coach is loving the way the offensive line is coming together. Everybody's looking good. The offensive line coach even likes the way the Virginia transfer, I was reading today, listening today, he likes the way the Virginia transfer is coming together, the offensive lineman. He's hurt, but he said his IQ, his football IQ is just like no other right now. And he's basically said he's able even to move up in position because of his IQ. He's able to kind of, talk to other players and feed other players the knowledge that he has. So, listen, man, I think we got a lot to be thankful for. Like I told you guys, like, share, subscribe. Talk about this, man. Let's talk about this. You guys tell me in the comment section. Now, if Oklahoma fans, if you're going to get on here and say they cheated too. Get on here and say Georgia cheated too. Yeah, it was in 1996, but guess what? We had to pay for what we had to pay for. So, look, I want to see the same energy toward them. Tell me if they cheaters. Tell me if Florida is a cheater. Like, share, subscribe. Hey, I need you guys to keep throwing up the deuce, man. Fight on, baby.